spread them out, maybe? Maybe that's what we should do. Nah, we should just write on top of each other. Alright, so we'll grab all the raw data. So we're going to have our max value and our min value. Min value is going to be 0, max value is going to be 0. Alright, so we're going to get our float. Cur value is going to be raw data sub x plus width times y. So cur value plus equals 1.0f. And if cur value is greater than max value equals cur value. Alright, so for the images, it's like you call graphics set color, and then you call like graphics dot and then is there graphics dot draw pixel, draw set pixel, draw rect, set color, clip, copy, create, draw image, draw renderable, set RGB, sets an array of integer pixels, sets the pixel buffered image, the pixel assumed to be default RGB, color mode, type int, Alright, so we don't need a graphics, we're basically just setting these things. Alright, so our cur value is going to be raw data sub I plus width times j, and our cur value is basically going to be cur value divided by max value, so that'll go from 0 to 1, and we can just throw this in here for this. This is real dirty and stupid. Nothing? Huh? Max value. Sounds like some hot action. Yeah, it's max value is 3200. I don't know if you can see this too well, but there are dots. Yeah, telemetry's just a big pile of crap. Max value was 8. Alright, so I guess we can a convolution in the image. We can convolve this thing. So let's see what this convolve op does. Constructs it. Alright, so edge condition constructs a convolve op given a kernel and edge condition and registering. So what the fuck is a kernel? I don't know. Your stream is in 1200p. You're the only person who streams and monitors native resolution. Yeah, all the data. I don't know if I'm god tier, dude. I don't know about that. Let's see. This guy basically has a radius, so we're not using the raw data. This guy was using like the blur data. Performs a convolve on the buffered image. Each component of the source will be convolved. If the color model is not the same as in the dest image, then pixels will be converted in the destination. Destination image is null. A buffered image will be created with the source color model. Alright, so if we just pass null here. So supposedly this will blur stuff based on a size that we have done. Yeah, okay, so I'm not very familiar with all this. Didn't do shit. Didn't do jack shit. It's real subtle. It's like we don't have enough data points. Like what I don't want it to do is it's blurring all the black stuff in there too much. Like, is there some sort of... Now, I know we don't have that much data. I mean, one thing I could do is basically write out, you know, the same thing I had before. Okay, so we're starting to get there. Alright, and kind of what we want to do probably here is if we weight our value differently, so like times distance squared, and then we do like float distance square equals the absolute value of ax minus x. If we just divided by our right rad times 2, just like, I guess, distance difference. Maybe that'll do it, where it'll radially fall off. Color parameter outside of expected range red. What? Max value was 2, so what probably happened is that what? Doesn't make any sense. minus 27. So that's going to be like 26. Order of operations again. So it's 27 plus 50 divided by 100. I mean, we'd expect 0.77 or some shit, right? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Is it just more order operation stuff? I must just be losing my mind. Swear to God. I've done too much random crap today that I'm just out of it. Yeah, that's what I would expect. Which part of auth is going to be more complicated? You're going to have to deal with all the existing login stuff? Like, the login stuff for our server? Or the login stuff we have with Twitch? I mean, the auth stuff is we're gonna have to verify Steam whatever credentials on our backend servers. So I assume there's something there. Yeah, right. We'll have to do it like the dedicated servers do, where they present a token to the server in the background, and we'll have to, have like a little loading screen at the beginning. It just like won't let you do anything. Or we'll have like a little loading screen on the little widget on the bottom, but it should be as easy as validating on the backend server. Is there anything that we can like pass a token to our backend to call Steam, or Is there like some sort of signed thing that we can just run a signature on to verify that, yes, this is legit? Because I would expect something like that, and it should be pretty simple. Is this upside down? So it's going to be y pos minus y min. So we're going to go up. I think it's upside down. Yeah, so that's looking better. Well, we're gonna do a login on the back end, right? That's going to happen. I'm pretty sure no. Like that's not. It's definitely not an NDA gray area. Like you can validate that somebody's logged into Steam from an external server. Like that's industry standard sort of order of operations. There's no reason that that should not work. Yeah, authenticate users on client means authenticating, just figuring out who the user is, and that Steam is properly running. Authenticating server on, authenticating users on backend is a completely separate thing. And you will not be verifying that the user purchased the game with the client stuff. The client is just like Steam is running and Steam is good, and if Steam does that automatically, you're done. Identifying them on the back end is going to be, I don't know, but it's definitely going to be that we pass something to our backend servers that then identify you using something like that. Oh, by talking about it? Oh, well, just whatever. I don't think somebody's gonna come after you for talking about how you need to pass a token to a backend. I mean, it'd be like nobody talking about how if you release on, yeah, no, like session thing, yeah, it's totally industry standard stuff. It's like saying that if you're going to release on Xbox, that you're going to have to go through Xbox certification or something. Like the NDA is there to protect other things. Like don't just make hacking tools and like all sorts of other shit like that. And usually stuff like that. Don't reverse engineer. Don't rip crap out of it and make your own SDK. That sort of stuff. That's why they've got those NDAs there. Like, don't go build a frickin' emulator for the Super Nintendo. That's what the NDA is there to slap people down with. And all that. Tell us more. Yeah, and you can always speak in vague terms, like so like yes, there's something we'll pass to the back end that we'll have to verify because that's how everything works. Yeah, that's what I figured. Is it's probably baked in there and pretty nice and easy. All right, so that's our heat map for positions of like a ball. So what we'd want is some sort of screen capture of a level from an orthographic camera that nicely encompasses this, so we could overlay it. I mean, if I just went way out, just did like some stupid ass screen cap of this. We need to be in orthographic mode though. That lighting is all screwed up. That is amazing. Okay, I added a layer and it didn't do jack shit. Alright, so we need to change our output for our thing here. Sorry, I didn't see your question on Discord earlier. So kind of how that'll work is you'll log in with Steam. So let's say you logged in with Steam. Awesome. So you're logged in. And then what you'll do is you can log in with Twitch when you're logged in with Steam. And what that'll do is it'll add an account mapping between Twitch and Steam. So you'll be logged in with both, basically. So we'll be able to, get your Twitch information. So if you're streaming and you want that to be public or whatever, grab your Twitch friends, all that. So the next time you come on, yeah, so it'll look like that. So you'll basically log in twice. And what we'll probably do is right now we're like re-off challenging every time you come in with Twitch. But if you're running Steam, like you're already logged in as that person, so we would just use your previous mapping and that long-lived token that's good for like 30 days or whatever. So you'd log in with Steam, and if you already had mapped your account, boom, it'll just work with logging in with Twitch. And you'd have to like go log out and hit the forget me button to actually sign in as a different user. So it should be a lot simpler than it was. How can we mess with Twitch streamers while they're... Well, yeah, they'll already be logged in with Twitch there, so we can mess with them as much as we want. That won't be a problem. Though we probably won't do the same thing that Cluster Truck does. As an engineer, I don't really like that they did that. Mainly because a lot of customers kind of trust you to not... Like, that they have the ability to do that to a client's machine, right? Like, they actually can go run these remote commands and screw around with their game. Means that they left kind of backdoor systems in order to do that. And anytime you're opening that up, it's a little bit... I don't really like it. Like, if they can do that, then, if they get compromised or hacked, then all their customers can be accessed in that way. So that can be a real problem. So it's probably going to be a real pain in the ass to get a good snapshot of the level, so it might be better to just not get a snapshot of the level. And just have you pop open the heat map like we have here and just look at it like that. Never thought of that, yeah. Well, it's like on Dragon Age Legends, we had a thing where you could run some JavaScript on people's, like you could push out JavaScript through the Flash application to run, and like we used that to pop up some messages such as like the servers are going down, or we're going to update in 20 minutes. And that was fine, but it's just, you know, it's not good practice to do that. Yeah, any company gets hacked. That's kind of the thing is, and also those sorts of systems don't usually have good tracking on it because you're running against somebody's machine, right? So like, you might detect a hacker screwing around with your systems because, you know, like, hey, the database read is off, or, you know, what's going on with this file, or this is wrong. But if it's like a customer's machine, they're not going to know that something's wrong. And you might be really surprised at how small things like that are very difficult to actually get working properly. A good example is almost every browser plugin for security is like total trash. Like, if you go through the Chrome and other disclosures for errors, there's tons of browser plugin, you know, exploits, such as, like, I know Komodo. It wasn't Komodo, but I think it was one of the popular antiviruses. It might have been McAfee or whatever, but their secure plugin. How plugins work in the browser is usually you call over HTTP to the browser itself, and it'll execute stuff for you, or you can call via JavaScript. So any page can do that pretty much. So one of their employees thought it was a great idea to just add a, you know, execute this thing on the command line to the JavaScript in your page. So literally, like, any page that loaded up could call like your console and start doing shit like read your hard drive and start up programs and, you know, hit other URLs and do crazy shit. And that happens way more often than you think, because somebody gets this wild idea about, like, well, it'd be so much easier if I just added this dynamic code execution thing in here. And all of a sudden you got Diablo 3 rolling around where, you know, when they launched, if you were connected to global chat, people could hijack your session. And that's probably because of stuff like, yeah. It can be not the best sort of thing there. Alright, so we do have a heat map generator. That's cool. So this thing is specifically grabbing player ticks and player touches, and we're outputting a heat map for this specific map, which gives us kind of where the players are on that thing. And then we want the, like, the ball touches. And all that. So we should probably because this is all parameterizable sorts of stuff. I'm trying to look at my sprint, what I actually have written down for this. I have fixed telemetry, which we have done. We have fixed our telemetry system there. And then we wanted a basic user stats report, which probably we want like the heat maps for some of the current levels. Alright, so we want like a string array here of, let's just do an array list. Strings, and we'll just call these levels. And I'll just throw these in here just because we can kind of hard code these guys because this doesn't really matter. What's the other level? Foggy night? Yeah. Alright, so for every level, so let's do a private static void create heat map, create player heat map for Alright, so we need string level name. We're going to want the database to be created outside of this thing. So we're going to want to pass the telemetry database into it. This will be float hours. This will be a parameter. And this will throw an exception, because we're being lazy in writing this as a tool. So the Dashkin platform code regarding login is Twitch specific? No, it's not Twitch specific. If you look at the login code at the current situation, like the platform manager has different ways to log in. So, like for instance, we have a server key right here. So, like we actually can read the server key in and use that. So like we have a server key and other stuff. So there's definitely stuff where we'll add another, like if you're in Steam, we'll log in with Steam, and then the map Twitch will be a completely separate thing that we'll have to write, where you won't actually log in with Twitch anymore. You'll log in with Steam, and then the Twitch thing will just be a mapping for your account. So that sort of thing. So we need like some variables here that we can actually set for these levels. You forgot about the manager folder? Yeah. Because we're going to need level specific data that's going to do stuff, so we need like I mean, we could just calculate a minimum based on some stuff. And heat map stuff is always a giant pain in the ass. So it's just kind of how it is. Still at it? Yeah, I'm still messing around with stuff. We got our heat map kind of working, so getting there. Alright, so we want our out path, so string out path, wd min util.getarg out. We'll have level name slash heatmap type .png. Oh yeah, Sinacron, it's totally fine to ask me questions when I'm on stream. I will let you know if I don't want to be bothered, or I'll just stop responding and be like really grumpy and passive aggressive. You mean like always? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. If I didn't want any questions from anybody, I wouldn't stream. Alright, so we have our sunny day heat map. Looks like that. And foggy night, which looks like emptiness. You think I would have learned by now how to drink water without choking to death? I have at least learned how to not die from it, I guess. Alright, so that goes from negative about 40,000. So let's just do 43,000 to about 43,000. And what about our X, our Y value? How come I can't fucking click on anything? Alright, so that's like negative 5,000 to 20,000. And we have no heat map data over the last whatever for foggy night. Well, but why don't we go make some? So if you want to help make foggy night telemetry data, you can go join Oregon at night if you really want to. So we'll just get some data rolling around. Alright, there you are, Carrot King. Figured you'd probably jump in. Stealing my ball. I see how it is. Child's play. Wow. Oh man, and there's cakes too. This is gonna get some good telemetry this time. I guess I should probably switch by team and make them blue and red, shouldn't I? So that we figure out who's hanging out where. Awesome, so that should give us some stuff. Getting link errors with game instance instead of startnet test from all the Dashkin UDP server calls. Yeah, you're probably not. You need to regenerate your project files because they're new files that you're not compiling.